Happy Monday, everybody. Max here on today's fix of entertainment news. Dakota Johnson did so much acting in front of a blue screen for Madam Web, she's not sure how it's going to turn out. James Gunn shoots down any possibility of Batman popping up in Superman Legacy, and we got another look at Lil Baby Goku eating stuff and fighting some dudes in the upcoming series Dragon Ball Daima. Let's get into it. Madam Web, Sony's upcoming Spider-Man adjacent superhero flick, hits theaters in about 2 weeks, and I know a lot of us are skeptical if it'll be any good, and apparently that includes its star, Dakota Johnson. In a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, Johnson discussed the challenges of acting in front of a blue screen, saying, quote, "There's fake explosions going off, and someone's going, explosion, and you act like there's an explosion. That to me was absolutely psychotic. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be good at all. I hope that I did an okay job." The actress does have faith in director S.J. Clarkson, though, and went on to praise her, saying, quote, "She works so hard and she has not taken her eyes off this movie since we started. Not all the effects in the film are digital," and in the interview, Johnson also discusses doing some stunt driving work, apparently driving an ambulance and also a taxi during the course of the film. Is that accurate to what Madam Web does in the comics? Does she just drive like a bunch of different vehicles? I don't know. I feel like probably no. Anyway, as much fun as it is to dunk on bad trailers, it takes a ridiculous, stupid, painful amount of work to make a movie, and with a few notable exceptions, it's pretty safe to assume that nobody sets out to make a bad movie. I think the underlying issue with Madam Web is that nobody asked for a Madam Web movie, and I doubt anybody actually wanted to make a Madam Web movie. As far as I can tell, this movie exists solely because Sony is trying to squeeze as much money out of the Marvel characters it has the rights to. Maybe it'll be a pleasant surprise and do something interesting, or maybe it'll be a complete train wreck that becomes a cult classic. We'll have to wait and find out when Madam Web hits theaters February 14th, Valentine's Day. Ooh la la, how romantic. Shifting cinematic superhero universes, James Gunn provided a little non-update about Superman Legacy, specifically that Batman will not appear in it. On Threads, a fan tagged the director in a post asking, quote, "Why can't Batman appear in Superman Legacy? And can we see Batman in some other production before his film?" To which Gunn replied, "Well, he can't appear in Superman Legacy because he's not in the script." Take this with a grain of salt, I guess, because things could always change. And even so, if Batman was going to show up, do you really think that Gunn would just like spoil it there? Having bats pop up in a post-credit stinger would definitely get people excited about the new DCU, but it's also totally fine with me if Gunn is more concerned with making one movie than setting up the next three, a trend that the MCU and the DCEU seem to have kind of run into the ground. The first place we know for sure we're going to see The Dark Knight pop up in the DCU is in The Brave and the Bold. The Flash and It Chapters 1 and 2 director Andy Muschietti is currently attached to the project, and it's supposedly going to draw from Grant Morrison's Batman run, exploring the father-son relationship of Batman and Robin. Otherwise, we don't really know much about this. Bear in mind, it is a completely unrelated project to the Matt Reeves sequel to The Batman, which exists in its own Elseworlds pocket dimension or whatever. In any case, Superman Legacy hits theaters July 11th of next year, and it hasn't even begun filming yet, but we will keep you posted when we find out more. Speaking of reimaginings of flying superheroes who crash landed on Earth as babies, we got another glimpse of Goku's new adventures in a new trailer for Dragon Ball Daima. Daima premieres this fall and will tell an all-new story that sees Goku and basically the entire Dragon Ball cast transformed into small children for some reason. This already happened to Goku once in Dragon Ball GT, but this time it's happening to everybody, which is a very, very silly premise and one that seems to kind of harken back to classic Dragon Ball. The new trailer shows the pint-sized Saiyan wolfing down a bunch of exotic food like black cheeseburgers and a fried lizard, and then beating up a bunch of much larger demonic-looking bad guys. So, you know, Goku stuff. You can check out the full trailer for yourself, but aside from a glimpse of the new visuals, it doesn't really give any more context. I know a lot of fans were hoping to see a continuation of Dragon Ball Super, but I'm really stoked to get something as totally goofy as Daima, and Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama is more closely involved with this than he has been with any of the recent projects. That drops sometime this fall. If you want to hear my full thoughts, I wrote a big, long video all about that when the first trailer showed up, so go check that out if you're curious. That is your entertainment fix for January 29th, 2024. If you are curious about any of the movies coming out of Sundance Film Festival, we got a bunch of reviews up. We gave Sasquatch Sunset a 10 out of 10, and that is a movie about Jesse Eisenberg in a Bigfoot costume grunting and farting for 90 minutes. I'm intrigued. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. As always, make sure you are following IGN for all of your entertainment news. I'll see you around.